Twins discover a coven of witches. The brother is recruited to join, while the sister uncovers their heritage as witch slayers. When the brother is supposed to sacrifice his sister, they instead team up to destroy the Witch of the Woods. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. More home videos from David Dakota. See more of what I am talking about in my review of his Snow White film, but my point being is that Warriors of Witchcraft is a dirt cheap affair that looks like a film school graduate project rather than a commercial product of a man who had been doing it for 30 years at that point. The cramped framing is not helped by the poor choice of location for a fantasy film. A community college, it seems, completely devoid of any scene dressing, which makes the contents of this DVD look like an extended rehearsal rather than anything a distributor with dignity would release just 2 days before its big budget influence Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters was bound for home video. The acting, gasp even from Eric Roberts, is flat and forgettable, but Dakota's reliable fondness for twinks guarantees that at least they look cute whilst they play out this insufferably cliched high school drama shit. The best thing about this film really is the score, which tries its damnedest to sell this dime store Harry Potter crap happening anywhere else apart from Dakota's backyard, but even this music is torrid and inspired with chintzy chimes which irritated me to no end. There is not much else to say about Warriors of Witchcraft because there is little of anything to dissect in the 83-minute C-grade tangent that's 95% padding and 5% Adobe After Effects. Why does Dakota keep doing this to himself? Is the property market in California that hard to get into for an affluent white boy such as him? When Gretel falls under a dark spell and organises a coven of witches, Hansel must find the courage to fight his twin sister and the sinister forces controlling her. The 5 first minutes of the asylum's Hansel and Gretel I found to be quite strong. Some production value, some tension, some practical gore. This was shaping out to be something good. However, a lot of terrible acting and dialogue, which ruined several good ideas floated about in the screenplay, made Hansel vs. Gretel a frustrating experience for me overall. The film had me, but it had no idea what to do with me. It would be needlessly splitting hairs identifying what's exactly good and bad about Hansel vs. Gretel because it's mediocre asylum fare for the most part, with some distinctive creative decisions which give it some character, I guess. The film plays out like serial killer fiction with overt fairy tale themes, most likely in an attempt to replicate the gritty aesthetic of their cash-in target, Witch Hunters. Partly they are successful with this, but production value is scarce and the storytelling is overall abysmal, with a cast and a director who could simply not find the right tone for this high concept bollocks. Personally, I think the clusterfuck mishandling of extreme and fantasy horror here is just down to no one on this production truly giving a fuck. Just another title on the resume. Shit. Hansel vs. Gretel has gore, it has some neat ideas, but it seems the production could not have cared less when it came to maintaining intrigue for its feature-length running time. The padding and threadbare character development make what little effort was put into this all for nothing, as most people I think would have clocked out by the halfway mark. Shelley Wong creates a high-concept video game that has big market potential. A triad boss gets wind of it and hires a posse of ninjas to steal it. Bruceploitation in the year of our Lord 2001, or was it 3? Who really knows? It could only be a Joseph Lai production. Otherwise known as Shanglong, Dragon, the Master, is without a shadow of a doubt the most boring Bruceploitation film I've seen to date. God damn, there is no psychotronic charm to this picture at all. The story and dialogue are drab and have very little entertainment value, and the fight choreography, while semi-competent, features nothing you haven't seen done more competently from several other Hong Kong action pics. Gone are the days of ninja fish, plagiarized music, and other forms of cut and paste majesty for Joseph Lai. Dragon the Master is a totally buttoned down affair that would be otherwise unrecognizable as a Bruceploitation film unless the protagonist wore a yellow jumpsuit once in a while. The appeal of the Godfrey Ho pictures was first and foremost the batshit insanity that filled the gaps in between the cut and paste fight scenes. The moments of insane dubbing and editing combined with the genuinely impressive action made for beautiful, beautiful cinema. However, Dragon the Master, whilst having some impressive fight scenes, has very little charm and is consequently an utter slog for half of its running time. It pains me to say, but there is simply no way I can recommend this one. A bit of a shit show. So, in conclusion, Warriors of Witchcraft is David Koto digital video shite that is not even worth a passing glance. Hansel vs Gretel had promise, but never cemented its tone and became just another undercooked asylum production. And Dragon the Master is extremely disappointing martial arts mediocrity that I can barely remember 30% of. Goodbye.